Hello, everyone. Welcome to PJ Yoga with TJ. That stands for Pajama Party with Terry Jean. I don't know if I ever explained that or not. Today is going to be a slow class. Because we're going to do some yin yoga, which is getting into a pose and holding it for at least 9 seconds to 2 minutes. And I'm going to try and use my phone this time to set it for 2 minutes when we get into the pose. So I will demonstrate the pose, and then once we start, then I'll set my timer for that. I think that will work best. I've been practicing on how to do it. Get my phone open. You will need a strap right off, or you may need it, so have it handy. And if you want to go ahead and put a loop in the end of it, we're going to do a hand to big toe, which is very helpful to have your strap with your loop already made. I'll make mine a little bit smaller for this pose, because it will just hook around your foot as we do hand to big toe. Instead of trying to do this, because I want your back to remain straight. You can see the difference here. This, I'm curving my back. This keeps the integrity of my back, which will then give me the best hamstring stretch. We're going to be working on hip flexors, hamstrings, of course, our shoulders, and just general lubrication of the joints and the connective tissue, which is what yin yoga targets. So let's go ahead and start by just placing your feet on the mat about hip width apart. Remember, from your hip bone, not from the side hips here. I call that the dressing sometimes. Sitting up nice and straight. I'll turn this way so you can see. With the skull over our cervical and our shoulders lined up. In other words, don't be bending forward or tipping back. Just like a string is pulling the center of your head up to the ceiling. So just close your eyes down and become aware of how that you're sitting, what your body feels like at this point. Just take some nice, easy breaths. I've got my hands resting on my thighs, and I'm sitting a little bit forward, so I'm not tempted to slump back into the chair, which would then make my spine curve. The more that you hold your spine nice and straight, the stronger the muscles and the connective tissue around the spine can help you to remain upright and not get hunched over. Now that you are probably feeling some calmness here, we're going to do a breathing exercise, and you can either keep your eyes closed. I like my eyes closed when I'm doing breathing because it helps me to just focus everything else out and just focus on the breathing. I should say to not focus everything out, but to eliminate everything else around me, so I'm not stimulated visually by things I'm looking at, and I can just be in darkness thinking about my breath. But whatever works for you, of course, do that. So I will count for you. I probably won't be able to do the breathing because it's hard to count and breathe. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, mouth, 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. Inhale nose, 2, 3, 4. Exhale mouth, 2, 3, 4. And just remain seated and still. Maybe make another adjustment. I just found myself leaning forward so that you're sitting up nice and straight. My shoulders are coming over my hip bone, so I'm not slouching forward or backward or arching too much. And then start just slowly opening your eyes. And we've had them closed, so let's do a little eye exercise. We're going to do a little warm up before we do some of the yin, just so we're warmed up. So let's look up to 12 o'clock, down to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Now let's shake it up. 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Back to center. 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And then just take your hands, if they're clean, and just kind of give your eye a little massage. Sometimes I think we don't give our eyes enough TLC. Just think of all the things they take in for you throughout the day until you close them at night to rest every part of your body. Let's take a deep breath in. Arms up. Prayer position. Exhale down. We'll do 2 more of those. Inhale up. Hands in prayer. Exhale down. And I'm breathing in my nose and out my mouth. You can do that, or you can just breathe in your nose if you want. Inhale. Exhale. I find it more relaxing to do the exhale through the mouth when I'm doing some heavy breathing like that. Let's just do some gentle shoulder shrugs back. This is a great thing to do in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night before you go to bed. In other words, any time of day. Now let's shrug the shoulders up. Really shrug. Like, I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know. And push them down. Shrug them up. Tight, tight, tight. It's a good time to tighten your abs and release. One more time. Shrug up. And I'm inhaling as I shrug up. Tight, tight. Release. Oh, that felt good. Let's just do a little twisting. We're going to do some twist in a bit. When we start the yin yoga, we'll be holding the twist at that point. And relax. And let's stretch our hamstring out just a little bit. And by that, I'm going to keep my left leg bent at 90 degrees. My right leg is coming out in front of me, and I'm pointing my toes as much toward my head as I can. And you should feel a stretch through your calf. And if you bend over, you can feel it through the hamstring. Just a little stretch. Now to the left foot, out. Really pull the toes in and just give a small bend forward. Not too much, just a small bend. We're kind of seeing where our stretch lies. So when we get into the yin, you'll kind of have an idea of, oh, don't want to go past that, because you will be holding it for 2 minutes, remember. And now we'll just do a little hip opener. So bring the right leg up over the left. And my ankle is resting just above my knee. It's not on my knee, just above it. And I'm just sitting here and kind of pushing my torso forward just a little bit and back. Just lubricate and open. Now I'm going to bring my left leg over. And this one I have to have it more on my calf, on my knee, because of my knee has some issues, so I don't want to cross it too far. I can still get the same benefit, and it's kind of like I'm just pumping back and forth, just to loosen up, get the muscles ready for some stretching. Let's do some knee raises. So I'm just going to raise my knees up, right, left, like I'm marching, but I'm sitting. If you want to stand up and do these, feel free to do that. I cannot stand full weight on this foot yet, so I'm going to be sitting. And then we're going to bring the right leg out and in, out and in, out and in, and the left leg out and in, out, in, out, in, out, in, just so we don't just start into the class and we haven't warmed anything up. Let's spread our fingers and make a fist. Spread your fingers and make a fist. It also helps with the blood circulation. Spread, really spread those and make a fist. Very good. Let's see, what else do I want to warm up? Oh, we can do some toe raises. I'll have to be careful with that. Next week I may get my air cast off. And I'm just raising my toes up and down. I'm just getting a little bit of calf action, which I so need on this left leg, especially being in the air cast. The left calf has atrophied quite a bit. I'm sure I'll get it back. I just can't do any heavy toe raises, which helps to keep that muscle nice and firm, which is one of the best ways to keep your legs sturdy enough so you don't trip and fall, which I tripped and fell, but I fell over a bunch of stuff lined up at the door. And I couldn't catch myself because I just kept hitting more and more items. The grandkids were here visiting, and we had their stuff piled by the door. That's probably enough of that. And then just spread your toes and together. I can take my socks off, actually. And I can spread my toes better. And if you are standing, this is a great one to do standing. I'm just spreading and finally move my little toe a little bit. Doesn't move as well as the other one now. And I'm spreading just like I did our hands, and then crunching them down and spreading and crunching, making a fist with my toes. I guess a toeist, a toe fist. Fist and spread. Shake our hands, flutter our feet, and rotate our ankles. And this feels really good. I do this every morning and every night before I put my boot on, because I can't bend my ankle much in the boot either. And I'm reversing that. And doing this is also doing some ab work here. Oh, and I think we are ready to begin our first yin yoga pose. So we're going to start with our seated pigeon pose. Got to get my phone back here. And again, the right ankle comes up over. If you have knee issues or a hip replacement, you can cross down here and still get the same results, because the stretching comes when you do the leaning forward. So I'm going to place my right ankle over my left thigh. I'm not going to push my leg any, but I am going to, I can lay my arm on it, which gives it a little bit more weight than just the leg. And I'm just barely bending forward. Back is straight. So this is a good position for me to feel that nice stretch. So I hope you found yours, because I'm going to start the timer, which I have it on silent, so I have to watch it. And you can just hang out. What I like to do is I close my eyes and I just start feeling how that the muscles around the joints can start relaxing after a little bit. It usually takes about 30, 40 seconds to start feeling, oh, okay, this is going to be all right. The point is, do not overstretch. Definitely do not do that. If you feel pain, stop, back off, or don't even do the pose, depending on your level of pain. And if it's just putting your leg up on your thigh muscle and you're feeling pain, then don't put it on your thigh muscle. Cross it at the ankle or down at the calf. We have 1 minute in. Yin yoga moves very slowly, because you're just sitting in a pose for at least 2 minutes. I hope that you have your blanket. If you need a block, you might need a block. We're going to do a supported push on the mat. And I'm going to use my couch, because in Shavasana today, I want your legs either up the wall, which I don't have a wall space right now, or on a chair or couch. I like to use the couch. I could use my chair here, but the couch is much more comfortable, softer. Oh, we're almost finished. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to slowly sit up. And we don't want to undo all that we've done, so we're going to just slowly take that foot and put it down to center. And just sit here for just a moment and feel the difference in the right hips and the left hip. It should feel, my leg actually feels a little bit longer. Stretched it out. That's good. Okay, let's inhale the left leg up and over, and see, it can be crossed this way, this way, this way, or this way. So my left side looks a lot different than my right side. I'm going to find that right here is a very good, nice steady stretch where I don't feel pain, but I do feel some stretching. I hope you have found yours. I'm starting the timer. And it feels nice and engaged, but not painful. Probably if runners took the time to really stay in their runner stretches before they run, they would have a lot less injury. I think you should stay in a stretch at least for a minute before you do a running exercise or even walking. I'm really bad about not stretching before I walk, but usually I walk after I've been up and about. So I guess I'm somewhat stretched out, but I should try to make more of an effort, I think, to really mindfully stretch, at least the calf muscle. Just kind of massaging the bottom of my foot here, which you can do that if you want. It feels good. Just a little gentle massage. I wonder why I can't make my pinky move as much as I used to. I hope that's not going to be permanent. We're down to 30 seconds. It really goes by fast. You might find as you're in this pose, I just notice that I'm actually able to bend forward a little bit more with the same amount of feeling that I had before. Before I would have been in pain here, but you can see the muscles are relaxing. And one, and sit up slowly. Maybe give the ankle a little rotation and bring the left foot down to be with the right. Just going to repeat these once because they are being held and we're not moving. So we're just doing each pose one time. Our next pose is going to be a twist, a seated twist. And I'm going to turn sideways. You will put your arm over the back of your chair because you should be seated forward. And we're going to twist to the right. But see how I've got my head and my spine lined up? I'm not twisting like this or twisting where my back is arching like in a back bend. I'm just taking a nice straight position, right arm behind me because we're twisting to the right. Left arm will rest on my right thigh and just twisting the whole torso. So I hope you have found yours, and I'm going to begin. And you just breathe normally while you're in these poses. And sometimes the breathing will naturally move you in and out of a pose. Oh, can't see my phone over there. I've got to put it over here. That was 30 seconds. Just think about what body parts are feeling the most twist. Make sure that you're trying to hold in your abdominal muscles. I've got my glutes slightly engaged. I don't have them tight as they can be, but I do have them slightly engaged. It just helps with the balance because you want to stay on both sit bones. Don't be hiking one sit bone up because that will put your back, your lower back especially, at a torque. You don't want to do that. I'm twisting from my waist over, my shoulder over. We've got 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. And slowly come to center. And if you need to take any movements, because that's kind of a long side twist to hold, kind of makes you want to move other parts of your body to balance it, which we're going to when we go to the left. So here we go. We're going to get in your left twist pose, right hand on the right thigh, left hand behind your chair, and make a nice twist. I've got my head lined up over my spine. And I'm just sitting here in this twist, feeling some adjustment in my back going on. And just so that's sometimes a benefit if you have issues in your back where you feel like it is getting out of alignment. Sometimes just doing a gentle twist will put it back in place. Again, don't over twist. Slightly engage your abs, your glutes, so they're nice and tight, so you don't have the tendency to lean on one side or the other. The sit bones are facing forward, as are my knees and legs. The only thing that's twisting is through my spine and my shoulder area a little bit. It's not a great twist there. Just breathe. Breathe and feel how your body is adjusting and readjusting into the twist. As you exhale, you might feel that you can twist just a fraction further. If not, stay where you're at. I felt relaxed there, so I was able to move a little bit further into my twist. Just breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, come out very slowly. I'm going to release my right arm, my left arm behind the chair, my right arm, and return to center. And I'm going to take a little bit of a stretch. And the next stretch we're going to do should take care of that feeling of, I feel kind of tight all through my waist, because we're going to do a side stretch. But let's get focused and centered. Another good thing about doing yin yoga is it lets you just stay in one position for 2 minutes, which a lot of people have a hard time focusing to be still for 2 minutes. So it's a great one for the mind, to still your mind. And when you do that, a lot of stress can be relieved. So here, we're going to take our right hand, put it down by our chair, just hanging, so it can swing. My dog must be having a crazy dream because he's breathing heavily and moving around a lot over there. Okay, I'm going to start we're going to inhale up the left arm and just straight over bend to the right. Ready? And begin. We're just going to hold it here. So we're building a little arm strength, holding that arm up for 2 minutes. And just being in the moment of stillness. Remember to keep your spine straight, your back straight. We're bending. My waist is scrunching up and be all wrinkly looking. If you saw it, this would be all nice and taut because it's stretching. We're stretching that left side. With your arm up over your head, it really helps to pull this nice stretch over. If that's too much for you, you can lower your arm this way. You don't get quite as much stretch. And if that's too much for you to hold your arm up, just rest it in your lap. Oh, so we're at 1 minute. 1 minute left. Nice slow, relaxing. Breathing. I'm going to move my phone where I can see it. I keep forgetting to do that. 30-second left. On the exhale, my fingertips go down just a fraction longer, which tells me that I'm starting to really relax those muscles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I had to fill off my phone, but slowly come out. And if you need to do a little shoulder roll, so there's a lot of work in the shoulder area, holding the arm up that way. And here we go. We're going to inhale, bringing the right arm up, exhale, stretching to the side. Again, if you cannot hold your arm up for the full 2 minutes, just rest it wherever you need to rest it. You could even rest it on your shoulder with your hand on your shoulder. It was a little crooked. I had to straighten my back up there. So think about where your back is. Think about your posture. You can do these poses standing also, which when you do them standing, you are strengthening your legs. I don't know if you can hear, but I have a neighbor on the weekends that likes to get his noisy car out and he drives up and down the street. I just heard him. I hope he doesn't drive up and down today. I hope he goes somewhere in it. We're almost to 30 seconds. I'll put it here. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly, slowly, slowly come up. My hand was getting really heavy there. I'm wondering if I was going to have to bring it out. Our next pose is going to be a hamstring stretch. So before we get into the hamstring, I want to just take a few moves to let my body adjust and feel the energy movement from what we just did. We'll get set up for a hamstring stretch. I'll put my phone down here so I can see it well. I'm going to move forward just a little bit. My left ankle is under my left knee. My right foot is going to stretch out as far as it can. And if you have your toe pointed, if you will bring the toes up and try to get them pointed as much as you can towards your head, which they'll probably be pointing towards the ceiling. And then a slight bend over for that hamstring stretch. Find your point, and I'm starting. Oh yeah, this is a great hamstring stretch here. So I'll just hang out right here. I'm just tilting my back straight like a board slanting forward, like that. A nice, slow hamstring stretch. Try to engage your abs so they're not just hanging out. That will be some strengthening for the abs if you do that. And also training the abs to remain nice and tight when you're doing any activity where you're bending over, which that's important for your low back health. If you let your abs work, your low back isn't working. Is it straining? I shouldn't say working. It's not straining like it does if your abs are not engaged. I just have both hands resting lightly on my left. Down those hamstrings, I feel it. We'll do one more for the hamstring too. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, slowly bring your torso up. Let your foot relax. I'll just let that go. And let's take and do a little rotation. I'm going up on my toes and down around the outside of the foot and then reverse. Toes, outside of the foot, heel, inside of the foot, toes, outside of the foot, heel, inside of the foot, toes. I'm just letting the edges of my feet touch the ground. And I'm going to give it a little shake out here. And now we're going to do the same thing on the left. So right ankle under right knee. Left foot is going to stretch out. And toes are pointing toward my head. These toes don't go back as far. Probably because it's been broken. And I'm just leaning forward. I do feel my hamstring stretching though, which is good. And again, engage your abs. I just found my abs not engaged and pooching outwards, which if you keep the abs engaged, it will give your low back support. And that's very important. My hands are resting on my right foot, my right thigh. Really, you've reached 1 minute. This pose is a little harder because your leg has to kind of support you, so you're building some strength in the leg that is offering the support here. Really got my hamstrings and my thigh engaged on this right foot, stretching the left. So we're doing both types of exercise that are beneficial for your muscles: strengthening, toning, and stretching. We're almost finished. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, sit up very slowly and bring the right foot down so that it's trying to touch the mat as you have your leg outstretched still. And then scoot the heel back up. We're going to rotate this one. I'm not going to do it on this foot because I don't want to injure it. I want you to start on the toes, go to the outside, heel, outside of the foot. That's the one by the little toe, up on the toes, inside of the foot, heel, outside of the foot, up on toes, inside of the foot, heel, outside of the foot, up on toes, and reverse. Toes, outside, heel, inside. Toes, outside, heel, inside. Toes, outside, heel, inside. And just give that a little shake out. Tick tock back and forth like a pendulum. And a little rotation. And then bring that up to stillness. Our next pose is, get your strap. For the next two poses, we will use the strap. And I'm going to bring this up here. So we're going to do hand to big toe. So your strap will go around your foot and put it closer up towards the paddy part of your foot so that it is not on this big tendon that goes through the middle of your foot. We're going to do hand to big toe. I like to just hold in my loop. You find your position. This is another great hamstring stretch. And we will begin. You can adjust the stretch of the hamstring by slightly pulling the foot up or lowering it for less hamstring stretch, depending on how tight you are. I find this is a great way to really stretch that hamstring without compromising your low back if you use the strap. And if you're super tight, your hamstring stretch may look like this. It may have a crooked knee bend. So you go with your best hamstring stretch and hand to big toe. If you do this one standing up, it also helps to improve your balance. I will turn sideways so you can see. I've got my back straight. Whew, I feel that. And I'm just got my leg straight out in front of me. But try to keep your back straight. In other words, don't do this. This is not really stretching my hamstring. I'm stretching my hamstring when my back is straight up and I'm being pulled through that central line up to the ceiling. I really feel that. I gotta check my clock. We're almost there. I catch myself leaning back when I have my foot up, I'm like, oh, I think I'm leaning back. So just readjust and get back into your yin pose. And that's it. Slowly bend the knee, let the strap come off of the foot, and place that foot down. Now we'll go to the other side, which I can't pull on that foot. So get your strap adjusted on your foot. I'm just going to hold mine up. And let's begin with the left side hamstring stretch. It's not as good a stretch as when I have the strap, but it is better than nothing. We're going to put it around my heel. Let me try it around my heel. Oh yeah, I can do it around my heel. Okay. That's better. I can get much better stretch if I am holding this strap. And again, engage your abs. Don't forget to breathe. Some people do these stretches and then you look at them and they're holding their breath. Don't hold your breath. Breathe continuously throughout the stretch. That's very important. Your lungs are a muscle too, and you want them being exercised in different positions. I have to hold this one. I should be holding it with my left hand, but that might be too much pull, so I'm going to hold it with both. That's better. "30 seconds left. What part do you feel most in this stretch? I'm really feeling it in my hamstrings and in my thigh muscle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee generously. Release the strap from your foot. Here we go. Our last pose in the chair. I think. I want to make sure that I didn't miss one. Oh, I did. I missed one. Which one do I want to forget? Oh, let's not forget any of them. We're going to do arch your arms, and then we're going to do dangling, which is also a forward fold, but in yin it's called dangling. So take your strap. I'm going to turn this way so you can see me, I think. We're going to take our right arm and pat ourselves on the shoulder. Your left arm is going to come up and try to reach the right arm. If you cannot do that, you can hold your strap. Your archer pose may look like this. This, or actually touching fingers. So, I'm not going to stay seated that way. It's too much of a twist. Get in your pose and begin in archer pose. Make sure your head is up straight. Turn this back and see the thing. And you can see I'm not like pressing my head down. My arm is not even putting any pressure on my head, but it is up by the side. I'm trying to get my elbow raised up to the ceiling, depending on your flexibility. Engage your abs. Really let the abs be working here. Anytime you're seated, let your abs be working. So many have desk jobs where they just sit and they don't think about their abs working, and that's why they lose the muscle tone in them. So if you still are working, or if you still have something that you do often sitting, if you could do something to remind yourself to fully engage your abs, at least for a few minutes while you're there every hour, you might be surprised at the relief your back would feel. You've got 30 seconds left for the right arm on top and the left arm on the bottom. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring your arms up out of the pose. And I'll set this. I'm just going to let my arms swing and swim. and maybe let's do the fun figure 8 roller coaster and then try to reverse it. Here we go. Now we're going to do archer on the left. So left arm comes up over the back and right arm comes up. I'm going to use my strap on this side because my elbow. Get in your position and start. Again, see, nice and straight. Straight back. I should finish my sentence. And just sitting with my knees forward, my abs engaged. Might scoot back just a little bit. And this one I may not be able to hold the whole time. I have to bring this arm up because that left elbow is also still healing. And that's not a comfortable position for it to be in after a while. So try to keep yours in if you can. If you can't, you can put it on top of your head like I'm doing and let that rest. It's best if you keep it off of your head. I'm going to take it off of my head just so I can get that stretch through my triceps. Triceps are a hard muscle to work out because it's a tiny muscle and it's one that we don't use that often for heavy work. So I always try to do tricep, different tricep exercises with weights to keep that muscle strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to release my strap. Bring my left arm up slowly, my right arm up, and do a little swim. And then we're going to take our legs as wide as our chairs, and we're going to bend forward, holding our elbows and letting our head just relax, and that's called dangling or forward fold in the chair. We'll hold that for 2 minutes also, dangling. If you have high blood pressure, maybe don't dangle over as far. This is a great one to just let the mind and the body both relax. Almost finished 1 minute of dangling. On this one, the most important thing is to remember we're going to come up very slowly since our head is down. I don't want anyone to get dizzy or pass out. If you feel dizzy during the pose, raise up very slowly. I'm really letting my shoulders dangle down, letting gravity kind of stretch and lengthen that shoulder connective tissue without pulling. It feels real nice. My shoulder blades are opening up. My sinus is stopping up. And we're almost finished. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly, slowly, slowly come up, bringing the head up last. If you do it slow enough, and in the order I said with the head last, you should not feel dizzy. If you do, just slowly bend your head forward until you can bring it up a little further each time. And I want to stop this. There we go. And make your way down to the floor. We're going to do a couple of floor exercises. I'm going to replace my socks because you know what will be coming. Have your blanket ready for legs up the wall, Shavasana, or I forgot to bring my sweatshirt in, and since I can't walk in there without putting the boot on, I'll just have to be without it. Have your bolt, your strap, and your block ready. We're almost running out of time. I think we'll just do print up to miss some of the floor. So let's just get it kind of ready for Shavasana. So lay down in restorative rest pose. I'm just getting my stuff. And in restorative rest pose, we're just going to let the knees swish side to side. We're not going to do the hand to big toe on the mat. But I hope you brought your block around. Where'd I put it? I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's up on the chair. We're going to do a supported bridge. And you can have your block in this position, or this position. I would suggest starting out in the lowest position, and the block will go right underneath your tailbone. So you're going to raise up and get your block right under your tailbone, and then just lay here for, you got it, 2 minutes. When you do bridge this way, I think I'm going to bring it up a little bit higher, right there. It's good for me. And you do not have pressure on your head. But when I do it with supported bridge, I can really feel my low back and in the hip area stretching out more so than if I'm supporting it or if I'm holding it with my feet. And my feet are not really doing anything. That's why it's called supported bridge, because you're letting your legs rest. You have a support beam under you. It puts a whole different stretching sensation on the low back, I think. This is beneficial for sciatic because it stretches that sciatic. Out of the hip. I have sciatica, so when I do this, I really feel that it's getting into that area that needs a deep massage. We're almost finished. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. get your legs so that you can lift up to remove the block. And then just slowly lay your legs down. And we'll do one more stretch. And that's going to be with the right hand overhead and the left foot stretching toward opposite walls. And then the left hand stretching and the right foot stretching opposite. And repeat this several times, your pace. This is just a great way to realign the spine in case some of the twisting or holding or stretching made it feel out of sorts. And then bring that to stillness and find your Shavasana. And like I said, I really want it to be on the wall or feet in the chair for a reason. Which I've got to cover up big time because I left my sweatshirt in the other room. But when you do legs up the wall, legs on the couch, it's going to really take all of that pressure off of your low back. And it's going to bring the blood that is in the lower extremity of the body back up to the top of the body, especially if you can do a legs up the wall, which legs up the wall is one of my favorite poses. Scrunching down into this. I'll let that. And before we get into Shavasana, we're going to do 3 guided breaths. I think you can see me. So here we go. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. And just do it all through your nose. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And last one, and then go into your perfect Shavasana. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. start thinking about whatever move that you might need to make before you get up. And roll over onto your right side. And take a breath or two there. And then when you feel ready, slowly push yourself up with your left hand, letting your head come up last. And I'm bringing my chair up here. I think I can get in it. Okay. Oh, that was a new move for me. I'm going to read about harmony. The good thing about yin yoga also and staying in a pose is that it helps your muscles to form new memories, because you've probably heard muscles have memories, and sometimes the memory is a painful one, so you always feel pain in an area, not necessarily because you're still having pain there, but your muscle remembers that pain. So when you're doing some gentle stretching, as in yin or restorative yoga, you're forming a new memory for that muscle. So that's why I like it to do it, because I think it has helped with some of my painful muscle memories. And that brings harmony to your body and to your mind. Your mind is another form of your body, and they're connected and they interact all the time. So we need to keep harmony between our body and our mind. Harmony, listen to the highest rhythm of all the elements and bring them into concert with your essential nature. Conduct your life accordingly. And then I found this quote by Ellen Jaffe Jones, and it says, as difficult as it may seem, the secret to living in harmony is accepting others just as they are. And I would like to add, accepting yourself also. If you see something that you feel like would be beneficial to change, then of course change is good, and change can bring about more harmony. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with others. Maybe they're not on the path as high as you are yet. So be kind and gentle. And I will open up my Heart Talk book. I'm going to open it towards the back. I hardly ever go to the very back. And in great big letters, it says, FYI, you are lovable. So there you go. You're lovable and you're in harmony with your life. Let's rub our hands together, bringing some energy and warmth. Press that into our heart center. And I ask that you go throughout harmony in your day today, or your evening, or the next day. Whenever you do this, try to remember about being harmonious throughout the day of your interactions. I bow my head in honor of you and the harmony that you share with others, and ask that you do share that with others, and I share my harmony with you through this class. Namaste. And I will see you next week. So ta-ta for now. Have a great day, evening, or next day, whenever you do your class.